a man has been missing for over almost 20 years, and we see that this man's name is Kevin Flynn, and he's a corporate man, like let's say an Elon type man. Okay, Elon Musk. He's rich, he's popular, he's a tech mogul. He's that. Okay, so like all tech billionaires, people always think they do things overboard, and in this case, it is. So we see the man is missing for what seems about 15 years, and he has a son, and his son is left alone to be raised by his parents. That's the man's parents now. Um, in that period, we see the media question where the man went to. Did he get missing? Was he killed? Was he murdered? Conspiracy theorists, whatever. And his best friend stood by him and defended him for all these years that he wasn't quote unquote kidnapped or missing, that he was somewhere. But obviously, that sounded delusional. I mean, who was somewhere for 20 or nearly 20 years? So obviously, that was not well taken. Now, we see the son about 15 years later now, which is where the story takes place. Is mature, old. He's rebellious. He's 27 years old. He's only parent to a dog, no girlfriend, no wife, no kid, nothing. So that's depressing. But I mean, it's not depressing. It's really real life. Everybody's not supposed to get married early. Like, it's okay. One day, after his old rebellion streak, he's visited by his dad's best friend, and told that he got a page, like a signal, or just we have a walkie-talkie, and you get a signal on your walkie-talkie, hey, like hello or something. He gets a page, and it's like, oh, someone paged him, and it was from his dad's office. At first, he wasn't receptive to trying it out, but he decided to swing by the whole arcade, which was quote unquote the office, to check it out. And then going there, he discovers what seems like a secret underground chamber. He presses the buttons, and eventually he finds himself in what seems like a conceptual digital world, right? Conceptual digital world. Simple. Now there he is quickly apprehended and taken to, well, play some games, and he makes it to the finale. And when he's almost killed by the quote unquote legendary warrior Rincha, I think that's what it's called, Rinzler, Rinzler, he bleeds. And obviously, if this is a digital world, you're not supposed to bleed. At least if you're digitalized, then the only thing that should come from you is pixels. So his bleeding is meaning he's not from the digital world, and obviously the whole arena is alerted, and well, he's taken to their lordship, so to speak, the lordship of the whole arena. Let me use that term. Now he goes to meet this said person, and the person is unmasked, and we get to see it looks like his dad. From over 20 years ago, he looked the same. And obviously, this excitement, he, talks a little bit, but the conversation is a bit awkward. And, well, the person reveals himself to be Clue, which is characterization, lifelike user interface, something like that. But essentially, it is a digital concept of his dad, not his dad himself. So, and we see that this Clue entity is the supreme ruler of this digital interface, and he is ruthless and evil, and he's our villain. Okay, now Clue confirms that it's only what's his name again? I can't remember his name again. Let's just say Flynn Jr. Okay, he's abducted, not really abducted, but in one of the games, after he's seen Clue, he's saved by a woman who we later know is Cora. Cora takes him to meet his actual dad, and they're, obviously for over 15 years, the conversation is going to be weird. At first, we're supposed to be happy, but the dad was very non-receptive to it. So it was, it was okay. It was, I mean, I don't know. What are you supposed to expect the daddy-son conversation to be like? So after 15 years, so I don't know. It just wasn't the best, but it wasn't the worst, but just okay. Now he is angry or annoyed at his dad, that his dad has been there for so long and not made any attempt to go out. And dad explains to him that this digital interface is like a safe, in the sense that you can only come out if the door is open from the outside. Now you can open it from the inside, but someone will have to have already opened it from the outside. So with nobody opening the door from the outside, or anybody even knowing prior to Flynn Jr. coming in, there was no chance he was getting out. So he's been stuck here for the last 15 years. And his dad explains how Clue turned evil and planned a coup, turned everybody against him, even TRON, which was another, another creation of a friend, or another digital creation that was meant to protect the computer entity or the digital entity now. Now, we also get to learn about the woman who saved him, Cora, and then she's what is defined as an isomorphic digital entity, I think. But yeah, and she's the last ISO. Now, against his dad's wishes and following Cora's advice, he decides to go meet a person called Zeus, who was supposed to help him find a portal to help his dad and him escape out of the realm and solve the whole clue problem, the whole bad guy villain problem was supposed to just be easy. Now, well, things get tricky from here. So he goes to meet Zeus, and there, well, Zeus is, how will I put this? Is Game of Thrones Littlefingerish. He plays all sides. That's the best way to say it, because that's how they said in the movie. Now there, he is betrayed. Zeus has already alerted the clue authorities, and they get there. They're fighting. Luckily, his dad and Korra are not far behind, and they come to save him. But in the process of exiting, not really one of, TRON, or the bad TRON, aka Rizla, takes the disc, or what would I call it, a record. Let me use just have like a memory card on SD drive from his dad. And obviously that's the user, so it doesn't really affect any of them, but it's like a record of everything that they know, in the digital entity. So it's like it's like a hard drive, and it's just a hard drive they take with them. So Rizla or TRON takes it away and obviously lets him go. Now, I don't think it was Rizla or TRON, to be sure, because the person was easily killed off by Zeus. But whoever the person was, they were killed off. Zeus took the disc and wanted to use it as a bargaining chip for a clue, so as to keep his immunity and his power, as Zeus is also an isomorphic digital entity, just like Korra. Now, as for Zeus, let's conclude his own story there. Well, he's eventually met by Clue, and he's detonated and killed. Yeah, so he doesn't really go far from that. Now, that's Flynn Jr. and Flynn Sr., as well as Korra, try to make their way all the way to the portal, and they're in a vehicle taking them there, having this nice conversation. Dad is chilling and resting, and he's the creator of the whole realm, so he's like, I don't know, he's like godlike in the sense. I'm radiating. I like the color. So he's godlike in that sense, and then Flynn Jr. is, I don't know if I would say intimatizing. Is that even a word? Intimating himself with Korra. They're getting really close. He has no girlfriend or no wife or boyfriend or anything, so okay. Now, they're having this nice conversation, and obviously I already told the story of, or the part of Zeus being designated by Clue, right? Now, Clue already knows this information, has this information, and eventually takes the disc from the creator that he's already taken and puts it on the key holder or keyhole to get all the information he needed to go out. And his grand plan was to take him, that's himself now, and all the other digital entities in the digital realm and put them into the real world to quote unquote dominate, colonate, if you want, colonize, that's what the word, colonize the whole world. Now, I don't understand how that would even work, but that was the whole point of the movie, right? So finally, the whole battle starts. Well, Clue is temporarily stopped, let me use the word temporarily, by the stealing back of the creator's disc by Korra, Flynn Jr., Flynn Sr. themselves. Korra sacrificed herself by giving up her disc to do so. Eventually they get the disc back and everything is seemingly going well for a while until Clue and TRON, aka Rizla, and some other typical strong guys in the army on their rank, follow suit to chase and get the disc back as a creator. Now, in doing so, they go through a whole lot of fighting, shooting, and eventually, Clue decides to shoot down TRON or Rizla because Rizla disobeyed his orders. I mean, Rizla's original orders are to protect the user. Okay, so let's just say in that little moment, he followed his actual original command and he protected the users. And as such, Clue eliminated him by pushing him into the ocean, or essentially blasting him off and shooting him into the ocean, the digital ocean. So weird, huh? But eventually, the movie ends last 5-10 minutes by seeing Clue blocking or stopping or temporarily seeming to stop the creator, aka Flynn Senior, Flynn Junior, and Korra from passing the portal. Now, the creator, aka Flynn Senior, decides to give himself up to Clue. Obviously, Clue does not buy it because he knows that once they merge, they'll both be annihilated. So he doesn't buy it. And he tries to take the disc from the creator. Now, he does take the disc while Korra and Flint Jr. make all the way to the portal. Now, once Clue assesses the disc, he sees that he's been tricked. The disc he's holding is not the creator's disc, rather, it is Korra's disc. Problem is, at this point, he tries to quickly run and catch up to, Korra, Flynn Jr., to get the original disc back. Now, creator or aka Flynn Sr. is well lived over 20 or almost 15 years of his life in this entity, and I think he was ready to give it up, right? So he decides to absorb Clue, knowing that fully well it would kill both him and Clue. So he does that. The impact creates an explosion, and it's just enough that we see that both Korra and Flynn Jr. make it out to the real world. Now, back in the real world, we see Flynn Jr. meets up with his dad's best friend and tells him he's right and he's about to change the company, and that whole good news, good boy gone bad, or that bad boy gone good. Okay, anti of Google. Okay, I'm making up Rihanna references. So yeah, and we see the movie ends with what we say is a hot scene, a bike ride between Korra, the human Korra now, and Flynn Jr. Yeah, it's hot, it's sexy, I like it. I can't wait for TRON Aries. I think it's probably going to be actually about TRON himself. Okay, I mean, the whole movie is called TRON, but we've not seen TRON yet. Like, I think there's an original TRON movie, 1980 something, 1990 something. I think 1990 something. I tried watching it, but I didn't like the way the movie was. It just felt very, I don't know, extraterrestrial in the sense. But it's a good movie. I probably might give it a watch again. For my review of this movie, I feel like it would be wrong of me to say it's a bad movie. It's 2010. Disney is evolving in their CGI. I mean, they're not. I don't know. Warner Bros. Had the better CGI in 2010. I mean, you've seen the Matrix, and also, generally speaking, the movie it's good. It's a good watch. 8 out of 10. The plot is basically very outlandish, but I mean, it's not impractical. So, I mean, I cannot conceptualize oceans in the digital entity, but oh well, they made it work. So I guess I give it an 8 out of 10. Watch it again? Yes, I probably would. It's a good movie. But not anytime soon. Maybe 5 years time I could watch it again if I forget some stuff. But yeah, toodles.